Good morning, everyone. I would like to call this meeting of the Kentucky Board of Education's Awards Committee to order for the purpose of reviewing and discussing candidates for the Robinson Award for Diversity and Equity in Public Education and making a recommendation to the full board at the February 5, 2025 meeting. Welcome back to members and welcome to all viewing the meeting remotely. Before we begin, I have a few reminders to announce concerning virtual meetings and their conduct. Number one, the meeting must comply with the requirements of the Open Meetings Act. Accordingly, the public may view the meeting via a link provided in the advertised agenda. Secondly, please ensure that your video is streaming and that you can be seen throughout the duration of the meeting. As there are only 3 members of the committee, you may refrain from muting your microphone when not talking. Please be sure all discussions are broadcast to the public. For any items that require a vote, there will be 2. A roll call vote will be necessary to record the vote of each member. At that time, the member should state her name, pause, and then state I vote yes or I vote no. Please silence or turn off other electronic devices that may cause disruption to your sound feed. Dr. Jones, would you please call the roll?
Julie Pyle.
Julie Pyle, present.
Diane Woods.
Diane Woods, present.
Lou Young.
Lou Young, present.
Chair roll call is complete. You have a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Samuel Robinson was a former member of the Kentucky Board of Education from 1991 to 2004, who made diversity and equity in public education his life's work. A noted educator and civil rights leader, Dr. Robinson began his career in Louisville, Kentucky in 1960. His diverse background in public education included everything from principal at Shawnee High School to president of the Lincoln Foundation. Dr. Robinson also was a well-known community figure as Louisville navigated the civil rights era. Each year, the Kentucky Board of Education grants this award to a Kentuckian or a Kentucky organization demonstrating extraordinary efforts and contributions in the area of educational diversity and equity. The criteria for receiving this award includes, but not is limited to, successful efforts in closing socioeconomic and or racial achievement gaps, significantly improving student learning, student achievement, or other measured outcomes among students of color or economically disadvantaged students. Each committee member was asked to review the nominations prior to our meeting. Therefore, with committee permission, I propose that a good starting place may be for each of us to present our top 4 candidates for consideration and discussion. Please remember, no candidates will be referred to by name. We will use the application numbers. As you read the observations, you noticed that there were 3 candidates that received recommendations of support from different nominators. Those candidates were candidates number 4 and 9, 7 and 8, and 10 and 13. So at this point, with continuing the discussion with the committee's permission, let's just do a sampling and see where we stand as far as our numbers. Ms. Powell, would you go first, please? First choice, second choice, the first 4, your first 4, please.
Okay. First choice candidate number 12. Second choice candidate 4 and 9. Third choice candidate 11. Fourth choice candidate 7, 8.
Okay. Dr. Young?
Yes, some similarities there. My first choice was a strong first choice for me, 11. Second choice, candidate 10/13. Third choice, candidate 7/8. And then I had a tie for fourth, either candidate 6 or 4/9.
Okay, thank you. Okay, my choices. The first choice was 10/13. Second was number 11. third 7, 8, and last 6. So at this time, let's have some discussion of the candidates, stating any rationale that you want to share with the rest of the committee as to why you felt this candidate was a strong choice or your ranking.
I had a number of them that were extremely close. This was very difficult to go through these to rank them because there are so many well deserving.
We had a strong candidate pool. I would agree with that 110%. Looking at my first choice, 10, 13, and I may have focused too much on the data and the results. That was very strong for me, very impressive of what I saw there. The performance rating improved from orange to yellow. The TSI designation was taken from the school, out of school supervision, suspension, to improve attendance initiatives, that candidate family workshops. So this candidate was involved in the community, multicultural events, family workshops, programs, donuts, and discussions, which invite families and communities to connect with the school, works with the Youth Service Center to implement and improve practices. Some of my criteria for candidate number 11 was very similar to the district was one of the first in the nation to institute a racial equity analysis protocol called REAP, changed equity funding formulas to ensure schools with highest percent of students in poverty have additional funding, opened 2 schools with Afrocentric curriculum, summer program for over 10,000 students, graduation rate increased. 53 of the districts, 150 school principals were African American, 43% on the top administrative ranks of the 1,200 students are Black or of color. So that was, they were very close.
I'm happy to share the same way. And I have a correction. My apologies. I went back and was checking mine against Julie's list. I missed a number. I was off a number. So my 4th place should actually have been Julie's first place number 12.
Okay.
So I did apply a scoring, 4 points for first place, 3 points for second, 2 place for third, and 1 place for fourth. In that analysis, candidate 11 would be at 9, candidate 10, 13 would be at 7, candidate 7, 8 at 4, and candidate 12 at 5. So forgive me for that error. I'm just really glad I went back and checked it against my pages. Regarding 11, all of the things that Diane just included, and that one was actually a 4-point higher for me in the tipping of the scales. There was in the bonus points because of the significant breadth and scope of influence, which I think is worthy of the Robinson. This is a big award for us, and I think that's important. More of a large scale leadership than an individual heroic leader. However, 1013, as you know, was a singular heroic leader. 2 people nominated this person for the award, and I saw some many of the same things that Diane characterized there in terms of data. That was the way that the nominations were written around the actual data-based impact on moving the needle inside their school or district context, was a differentiator for me on those numbers.
Yeah, I would. Yes, I would agree. On number 11, the focus on the data and the systematic change, and that was extremely strong. On candidate, I had second place. I had 4 and 9, and the reason kind of focused on that was that it was very student centric. Student equity advisory councils, started organizations around students. That's the reason that one was higher for me. And then candidate 12 also was very high because of the accomplishments, being student-centered, very involved in the community. 10 and 13. There, one thing that did stand out for me in that is they have pursued the family-friendly certification to engage the community. And there was a lot, it got into a number of bits of the data. They've moved out of TSI and things. So 10 and 13, like I said, this was very difficult, all very, very strong candidates. But I do agree with Lou on number 11 in that it's very broad scoping, district level. I think number 12 was also that way. That was a district level position.
Are we allowed to say that position? I thought she was in a singular role. It's in the third paragraph. I think she mentions her role. Yeah. Or they mention her role.
Okay. Okay. Continuing with this discussion. Anything else, Julie?
Yeah.
Okay, Ms. Paul. Okay. Looking, I think one of the indicators that's going to differentiate who we want to consider to the board is the scope of the influence that the candidate has had on the community, not just a particular school, but the community. 11, I had 11 in one of my first rankings when I went through it as my number one choice. And then I read some more, and 10, 13 came up. So I'm good with number 11 being the person that we recommend. And Julie, that was your third choice?
Correct.
Yeah, but they were all like almost tied together. So I mean, it's
what an honor for this award that it is
yeah.
That we've got people out there. They're doing, okay. So who's going to be the person we're going to tap to recommend to the full board? And I think the one that can, in my opinion, is we've had a really good discussion here. The broader impact on this whole area of diversity and equity. And I had within a few 2 points as I totaled it up, 10, 13, and 11. So I'm
yeah. And yeah. I did have 4-point difference. And that's the way the bonus section kind of lends itself there.
Okay, to have a recommendation on
I would offer that we might choose two, a district level person and a school level person, but that doesn't reconcile because our 1013 didn't make Julie's list. I'm not sure that necessarily persuades us to make that compromise.
Okay. Well, I had 1013 was tied for fourth.
Oh, okay.
1013 was up there for me too.
Okay. So that would move it up in my tally to 9, 8, 4, and 5. 9 points for 11, 8 points for 10, 13, 5 points for 12, and 4 points for 7, 8.
Okay. Okay, now give me your ranking again, Julie, because I have your fourth choice is 7, 8.
So 7, 8, and 10, 13 were actually tied for me. They both had the same number of points.
Okay. Okay. I didn't hear that when you made the report. Okay. We will make, I want to be sure I'm clear on this, one recommendation of a candidate to the board, or do we make more than one?
It's up to us. We could choose 2.
But then they would have to go through the materials again and then decide who the final.
No, we would be recommending 2 award winners.
Oh.
And we have done that in the past.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Thank you for that. I did not know that. That makes it much easier for me.
Yeah.
And really to honor and the work that these individuals are doing and their districts.
Yeah, and I think the distinction, as you guys have pointed out, is between the scope of the full district as well as the scope of the full school, both of which are critically important. So I'd be happy to make a motion that we recommend two candidates for the award this year, candidate 11 and candidate 10/13.
I'll second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion. We're now ready for the vote. This needs to be a roll call vote. Is that okay? Because in my opinion, this is very serious, and now that we needed to be sure that we are on record as to we all were in agreement, not just common sense. So, Dr. Jones, I'll turn it over to you for the vote.
All right. Had a motion and a second. So now Julie Pyle.
Oh, yes,
aye.
I'm sorry.
Julie Pyle, aye.
I'm going to use Lou's frame, Rusty. Is there one of the members of the committee make the motion, please?
Yes, I motioned and Julie seconded.
Okay, and the seconds by
Julie.
Yep.
And now for the roll call vote. Julie Pyle,
Julie Pyle, yes.
Diane Woods,
Yes.
Lou Young.
Lou Young, I vote yes.
Yes. Okay.
The motion
Yeah.
passes.
The motion passes and the motion is unanimous. Can we recommend that we be sure that that's stated also for those that are not watching this video today? And it's just, it makes you really feel good. And each one of these candidates that we're recommending to the board were not only just involved in their school, that was in their communities too. And Julie, that the whole child is being viewed in the community and the families are involved. So
yes.
This was really a labor of love, looking through all these and seeing some of the good things that are going on.
I agree, Madam Chair. I thought every candidate was a worthy candidate, especially those that made our top lists.
Right.
We would have been comfortable recommending any of those.
Yes.
I agree.
Okay. Any other discussion about this? Okay. We've already made the motion to recommend these two extraordinary individuals in their efforts, candidates, I'm sorry, in the area of educational diversity and equity to our full board at its February 5th, 2025 regular meeting. As the recipients of the 2025 Robinson Award for Diversity and Equity in Public Education. Dr. Jones has called the roll. The motion was properly made and seconded. Dr. Jones called the roll. So I want to thank each committee member for your help in this process. This was really intense, and I think there's so many good things in here. We could just pull out some of the things that are happening across the state together in one template and have something that would be very valuable out there.
Yeah.
Because, especially, as educators, we were never ashamed of taking or borrowing something that was really working good in other school. Again, thanks to the committee for your help in this process. At this time, no further business is on our agenda. And Dr. Jones, I need a motion from one of the committee members to adjourn the meeting.
A motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second. Okay. It's been properly moved and second by Ms. Powell and seconded by Dr. Young to adjourn the meeting. Dr. Jones, please call the roll.
Julie Pyle,
Julie Pyle, yes.
Diane Woods,
Yes.
Lou Young. The motion carries.
Lou Young, yes.
Oh, excuse me. I jumped ahead. Excuse me. Thank you. Motion carries.
Thank you to everyone. This meeting of the KBE Awards Committee is adjourned.
Excellent.
Have a
Thanks,
great day.
everybody.
Stay well.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Stay dry.